I bring you glad tidings, good sirrahs and m'ladies. It is I, Poindexter, here to read to you a stirring psycho-thriller that will tingle your senses and have you on the edge of your back. The tale you are about to hear is called The Jealous Clark Kent, starring Superboy, the boy who was Superman when he was a boy. It begins, as so many stories do, with a life-size Superboy puppet. But Mom, he protests. I asked for steak and french fries. I'm giving the orders, Superboy. I say you're eating ham and eggs just like me. Choke, chokes Ma Kent. The strain of living under two identities gave poor Clark a split personality. He thinks that puppet is really Superboy. He doesn't realize he's using his super ventriloquism to make it sound alive. Or strings to make it sit up. It had to happen. Did it though? Anyway, for long years, Clark Kent has been playing a dual role. As Superboy, he lives in the limelight, cheered everywhere, as the world's greatest hero. Yet, after each glorious mission, he must revert back to the role of that shy, timid, milksop Clark Kent. But switching personalities is a constant strain. Can even the mighty boy of steel endure the growing tension? He could, until a red kryptonite effect provided the blow that unhinged his mind on the day he became the jealous and unhinged Clark Kent. One day, as Clark Kent and Lana Lang attend a vaudeville show in Smallville, Superboy, you've been a bad boy, so I'll punish you with this red kryptonite. It always affects you in unpredictable ways. Yipe, the red K removed my hair. Now I'm as bald as Luthor. Apparently this is a benefit show meant specifically for fans of Superboy. Ha ha, that Superboy dummy is a riot, laughs Lana Lang, clapping her hands like a small child delighted at the antics of the stupid dummy. Later, after Clark escorts Lana home, he switches to the real Superboy. Everyone laughed at the dummy, but he's only a piece of wood. It's the ventriloquist genius that makes him seem alive. I'm going to compliment Venturi and get his autograph. Clark undresses himself in a back alley behind the theater. But as Superboy goes backstage, please, Mr. Venturi, don't hit me anymore. Ah, you stooge, I do all the work, do all your thinking for you, and you steal all the applause. Question mark, thinks Superboy, lurking behind a curtain. This happens a lot here, folks. I'm sick of you getting all the glory. No, don't throw that kryptonite. Poor Venturi, thinks Superboy. He's so jealous of his dummy, he's become mentally deranged. He's using ventriloquism to make the dummy Superboy answer him as if he were alive. No, not the kryptonite! Eeyah! That odd tingling feeling. The red chunk must be genuine red kryptonite. I wonder how it'll affect me. I'd better leave before the red K change hits me. I'm sure later on there will be some explanation why this random ventriloquist happens to have red kryptonite on him. Next day, as Clark's foster parents, the Kents, enter the basement of their home, look, Clark is making a life-size Superboy puppet. But why? He saw a ventriloquist act yesterday which featured a Superboy dummy. Perhaps Clark has decided to make puppets his hobby. You know, if I was going to pretend to be a shy, timid milksop with few friends, this is exactly the hobby I'd pick. That or being a Superboy fan. Clark has picked both. Good for him. Then, amazingly, I'm sick of you, Superboy. You always play the big hero while I, Clark Kent, have to pretend I'm a namby-pamby weakling. But Clark! Gasps, I assume Pa Kent, hiding behind a doorway, peeking around the corner. Clark's acting strangely. He's using super ventriloquism to argue with himself as Superboy. It's called puberty, Pa. Well, I'll fix you. After I make you botch up a few missions, everyone will know you're a bungling phony. Poor Clark, thinks Ma Kent, acts as if he's jealous of his Superboy self. I don't understand it. At that moment, Superboy's communication system signals an alert. Calling Superboy, this is an emergency. During a sudden thunderstorm, lightning struck the center pole of a circus tent near Smallville. The canvas walls are collapsing. Hundreds will be trapped. We're not going to do a thing, so get your ass over here. The alert brings a strange reaction from Clark. I suppose I'll have to do your thinking for you as usual. Get out of here and yank that collapsing tent off the circus arena. But if I do that, the audience will be caught in a drenching downpour. Oh no. That's right. Ha, ha. And they'll blame you for not figuring out a better way of handling the emergency. Now get going. Slap. Oh dear, thinks Ma Kent. He's so envious of Superboy, he's ready to spoil a mission to get his alter ego in trouble. Gulp, gulps Pa Kent expositionally. Now Clark is switching to Superboy. Will he accept those mischievous orders he gave himself as Clark Kent? Soon, out in the raging storm, there's the collapsed tent. If I follow Clark's orders and tear away the canvas, the audience will have no protection from this awful cloudburst. I must defy Clark. Yes, instinctively, Superboy resists doing the mischief. I'll use my super breath to raise the canvas back into place. Don't panic, folks. Superboy will handle the emergency. I wonder what a sudden gust of super oxygen is like in an enclosed space. I guess I'll never know. And as all watch in awe, now, while keeping the tent roof in place, I'll lash the two parts of the broken center pole together with the spare coil of rope. Hurrah for Superboy! Now we can see the rest of the show! These people are so sick of Superboy. They're so used to seeing him. They just want him to get done with his job so they can keep watching them torture elephants. Okay. Then, after Superboy returns home and switches to Clark Kent, and so, with his quick thinking, Superboy saved the circus audience from panic by re-erecting the collapsed tent roof. Thank heavens our son carried out the mission correctly, after all. Perhaps he's normal again. Pa Kent thinks, oh, so when he does his job right, he's our son. But a moment later, so you thought you'd outwit me, eh, Superboy? Take that, and that. Slap, slap, slap. He's slapping. That poor puppet. No, please don't hit me, begs the puppet. Groans Ma Kent. He's so involved in that weird, jealous feud with his super puppet, he doesn't even realize we're watching him. Well, this probably happens a lot in the Kent household. Then, in the next instant, Mom, Dad, don't let Clark hit me anymore. I'll knock his block off if he doesn't listen to me. How grotesque. He's using super ventriloquism to make the puppet appeal to us for help. We'd better play along with him, Martha. In desperation, Clark's parents pretend to intervene. Clark, Superboy, please don't fight. It's time for dinner. Come upstairs. Please feed us down here, Mom. I want to keep an eye on this phony. He might try another double cross. As Clark persists in acting his strange, quarrelsome dual role. But, Mom, I asked for steak and French fries. I'm giving the orders around here, and I say you're eating ham and eggs just like me. See? And Ma Kent thinks, I guess I'm running a diner now. Suddenly, another emergency alert sounds. Attention, Superboy! The cloudburst has caused the Smallville River to overflow and wash out the railroad tracks. An express train is stranded 10 miles from town. Only you can rescue the passengers, 'cause we got a thing or something. All right, you super stooge. You'll do as I say this time, or I'll wring your neck. I'm ordering you to fly that train to Smallville. But trains aren't built for flight. The couplings might break. Passengers could fall. That's your problem, you fake. Remember, you take my orders or... I'll do it. Just don't strike me again. What can we do? If we took him to a psychiatrist, his secret identity would be exposed. She has a point. Seconds later, as Clark switches to his real super costume, sobs Ma Kent. He shifted into his super personality again. Do you think he'll follow the orders Clark gave him? Perhaps his decent instincts will prevail. Soon, at the stalled train, Clark told me to fly that train to Smallville. He'll punish me, beat me. You know, I'm just gonna say someone was working through something in this story. Anyway, unless I obey him. Besides, he's the one who does my thinking for me. But if I do fly with the train, some of the couplings may come loose. Many people might get hurt. There's only one way to obey Clark's orders safely. Though mentally disturbed, Superboy instinctively finds a way to carry out his mission. I'll freeze the flooded river with my super breath and then fly along, pulling the train behind me over the ice. Hurrah for Superboy! But after returning to the Kent home and switching identities again, Clark confronts his puppet other self. You rat, so you think you outsmarted me. Well, I was there. I heard them cheering you. Clark, please, don't strike me. I just couldn't do it your way. Mom, Dad, Clark's jealous of me because I'm a hero. People admire me. Pretty girls like Lana Lang, for instance. Yep, someone's working through something. That's right. Lana always did have a crush on you, but I'll fix that. The post office is collecting book donations for the new children's library. Lana is in charge of the drive. You promised to pick the books up at the post office tomorrow and deliver them to the library. Sure, then Lana will like me even more. That's what you think. I'm ordering you to dump those books after you pick them up. If you don't, I'll find a way to destroy you completely. Oop! Gulps, Ma Kent? He makes it sound so horribly real. Will he frighten himself with his own threats? But next day, Superboy's better instincts again come through. Clark ordered me to dump these books, and I'll obey him by dumping them into this giant sack I made. Then I'll deliver them to the children's library. And as Superboy transports the books, Lana worships me more than ever now. Clark will really flip when he learns of this. "Oh, Superboy, you're magnificent," lauds the easily impressed Lana. Later, in the Kent basement, as Superboy switches to his twisted Clark personality. "I saw you make that grandstand play for Lana. You've ignored my orders for the last time. This will cost you your life." "Gasp," gasps Ma Kent. "He's opening his kryptonite vault." I feel like he shouldn't really even have that. Anyway, "This kryptonite will finish you. Die, Superboy." "No, no, Clark's gone berserk. That lead box is the only thing that protects him from kryptonite poisoning. A slight move could expose him to it. Get it away from him." A split second later, "You know, Ma, you could have done that too. What happened? What am I doing with this strange Superboy puppet?" "Look, Jonathan, Clark's dazed expression is gone. I think he's come to his senses at last. I'll explain what he's been doing." "Oh, please do." Swiftly, Mom Kent tells the story. More swiftly than this, I hope? "Since yesterday, you've acted like two different people. As Clark, you were so jealous of Superboy, you tried to kill him with kryptonite. I remember it all now. And it was red kryptonite that caused my split personality." Oh, so we really are going to just go back. Okay. "It began when I visited that ventriloquist backstage. Venturi was suffering from a delusion that his puppet was stealing all the applause. And... no, don't throw the kryptonite. That odd tingling feeling. The red chunk must be genuine red kryptonite. I wonder how it'll affect me. I'd better leave before the red K change hits me." You know, this was like 6 pages back. Alright, anyway. "That type of red K must have given you the emotions of the man who threw it. You acquired the psychotic split personality of Venturi. When I quote-unquote destroyed my other self, I snapped out of it before the effect would normally have worn off. But I must help that poor ventriloquist. No doubt he will get Venturi years of talk therapy and a strict regimen of medication." Working swiftly, Superboy arranges an Actors Club banquet with Venturi as guest of honor. That works too. "And I owe all my success to the amazing talents of the great Venturi. Choke," chokes Venturi. "Thank you for your applause, ladies and gentlemen." Later, "Superboy, that tribute was just what I needed. I'm cured of the weird jealousy I had for my dummy, but I can't understand how he could praise me. I wasn't throwing my voice. I guess that banquet didn't cure my mental illness after all. I did it with my super ventriloquism. You deserve that tribute." "Superboy, it was awful. You'll never know how it feels to work hard, give all your talents, and see the applause go to someone else. Someone who is really you." Choke, Superboy. "Believe me, I do understand exactly what you mean." And as our story ends, Superboy collapses into tears, never having learned how this guy got his hands on a chunk of red K. By the way, does anyone have a 1955 half dollar I could borrow?